Hi guys, welcome back to the Colourful Table channel. I am Skill Jim, of course, and today we're going to be taking a look at the SEGA PICO system and some of the games that I've got for it. Very forgotten system, sort of released around 1994, I believe, 95. Sort of an education piece of hardware for children, of course, which is why it's so colourful. And yeah, I remember seeing this actually at first in Toys R Us, and already I kind of felt a little bit too old for it, because obviously you're seeing like 2 + 3 = 5, etc., and I would have been like 8 years old at this point. But I do remember it on display in Toys R Us, and I do feel like I do remember seeing Tails' music game, but we'll get into that a little bit later into why I'm mentioning that up front. So yeah, we're going to be taking a look at the actual console box here first. So this is a PAL version of the box. A little bit battered, of course. I mean, it's been in children's possessions, I would have thought, back in the day. So let's have a look here. So SEGA PICO, the computer that thinks it's a toy. Plays like a toy, educates like a computer. Touch the storybook to create activities on the screen. Over 20 activities and 11 development skills per storyware. Characters and music in each storyware title. So this box actually comes with Winnie the Pooh, which is why you might see a lot of loose cartridges of Winnie the Pooh. I'm not sure if it actually has a box or it's just a thrown-in game, basically. So these are some of the software that are listed here. So there must be a Tales and the Music Maker in PAL territories, but I will again get into that in a moment. So we've got Richard Scarry's Huckle and Lurley's Busiest Day Ever, Disney's Mickey's Blast into the Past, Magic Crayons. Sorry, I'm trying to read around the phone holder here. Tales and the Music Maker, Professor Pico and the Paint Box Puzzle, Ecco Jr. and the Great Ocean Treasure Hunt. Obviously Winnie the Pooh. So how many games is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're advertising 7 cartridges on the actual console box. So apparently it plugs into any TV, which maybe in 1994, 95 that is a fact. But obviously, as you'll see when we get to the actual components and the cables and stuff, you do need a old CRT-B style screen, or one that has an RF port, basically, that you can then TV tune to find the right signal. So it's the complete expandable system for developing your child's skills. Apparently it covers drawing, reading, counting, matching, making music, animation, spelling, problem solving, memory, motor skills, time telling, and it's suitable for 3 to 7 year olds, which I mean is a perfect sort of age for my daughter right now, actually. It would have been nice to let her have a go on this, but we don't unfortunately have one of those old style TVs anymore. And yeah, again, downsizing. This is quite a big chunky thing. Might pick this up again in Japan, actually. It's one of the things I might actually rebuy. So fish for numbers and learn to add and subtract, match and learn shapes, develop imagination while creating and animating cartoons, and trace letters and learn your ABC. So yeah, it's a pretty versatile console for children. Sort of like, remember the old VTech computers that were like very much child friendly, adding up and multiplication and all that sort of stuff that you could do. So this sort of gives, I guess, well, there's a chunk of the box missing there, but there's a list of games and sort of what they actually contribute to your child's learning, that SEGA think are encouraging these aspects or these themes of sort of education. Some little screenshots on the back. Folds into a carry case, which it does, to be fair. So let's see, I think I've shown most of the box off here, the side, so we'll get into it in a moment, but just a brief sort of summary of what the actual console entails. So you've got the storyware where you pop the cartridge in and the pages sort of flop over here, and I assume there's an IR or whatever it's called sort of card inside these that sort of the thing manages to read to understand what page it's on, kind of a thing. Here's your drawing pad, kind of one of the first sort of instances of actual touchscreen technology in a sense. Obviously this is well before your iPhones and smartphones, but this is kind of like the system that they used to sort of replicating that sort of touchscreen mentality. You've got directional keys for interactivity, up, down, left and right, and nice colourful buttons, of course. The power input and TV video connector on the back. There's your open and close latch, the on-off button, the magic pen that I just mentioned, And yeah, I think that's pretty much all sides of the box covered. Oh no, we haven't done this one. It's just a bit of a 90s sort of advertisement on the side there. Take Pico plus kids, your TV, connect to your TV equals fun. So yeah, right, let's move the big box out of the way. Inside the box is the SEGA Pico manual. Let's see how do we get into this thing. There we go. So it's essentially this. Turn this card now and you could win new storyware for your Pico. Dear customer, thanks for choosing Pico and your child will get hours of enjoyment from it. To make sure, all you have to do is complete the attached warrant to your card and return it to us. Not only will this guarantee your SEGA Pico, but it will also help to get you better and develop new products suitable for your child. It's like cookies back in the day, ain't it? Naturally, Pico is made to the very high standards you would expect from Sega, but should a fault develop within the warranty period, your Pico will either be repaired or replaced free of charge, which is cool. For all warranty details, just turn this card over and don't forget to return the warranty card for your chance to win new Pico software. So there's the original Sega address. Not sure if that's still the same premises. Here's the warranty card. 10 SEGA Pico software titles to be won every month. Oh, okay, yeah. Very cool. What else have we got? So we've got connecting SEGA Pico to a TV or VCR without audio, video or SCART sockets. So yeah, some information there. Important, this product is fitted with non-rewirable plug. If the plug is unsuitable for your main socket outlet, then it should be cut off and destroyed. Ooh. Under no circumstances should this cut-off plug be inserted into the main socket outlet, as the wires leading from the plug will be live. The wires in the mains lead are coloured in accordance with the following code: blue, neutral, brown, live. If the colours of the wires in the mains lead of this appliance do not correspond to the colour markings identifying the terminals in your plug, proceed as follows. Wow. The wire that is coloured blue must be connected to the terminal that is marked with the letter N or coloured black. The wire that is coloured brown must be connected to the terminal marked with the letter L or coloured red. Do not make any connection to the earth terminal marked with the letter E or symbol, or coloured green or green/yellow. The fuse fitted to this appliance is 3A and replaceable fuses should be AST8 approved. There you go, guys. Adult supervision recommended for setup ages 3 and up. This is the user manual. I'm not going to go into in depth into this, but you can have a quick look at this if you want. Pause the video and read this if this is interesting at all to you. How to operate it. Did kind of just go through this, alright. Here's some nice funny warnings. Do not spill water on your SEGA Pico. Do not leave in the sun. Yeah. Pretty funny. Very 90s again, right? And there we are. It's signed by Declaration of Conformity, signed by Masatoshi Mizunaga, who was the DH manager apparently. Tokyo, Japan, December the 8th, 1994. Importer distributor. Cool info. Cool. Going to first look at the actual console now. So this is a SEGA Pico, like the little girl had. There's your carry case sort of aspect to it. Quite a sturdy sort of system. Very chunky feeling, plastic, decent shape actually. You know, very bash friendly, child friendly, if you know what I mean, that kind of material. Nothing that you can really damage, I don't think. Maybe if you threw it off a 100-story building, it would probably shatter. I don't think it's that durable. I don't think anything is that durable, but yeah, this is a pretty cool system actually for considering it's a SEGA product. So there's the latch that opens like that, and it sort of just sits. So you'd sit it out on a table, plug it into your TV. Right, so let's sort of show you some of the features. So this is the pen, the magic pen, SEGA branded, and yeah, it's sort of got a spring sort of system there that I'm guessing is literally just replicating the press of a button. So when that button's pressed down, it knows to do something, and depending where your sort of mouse cursor, if you want to think of it as a computer, is on this, so there must be some must also be a button and probably like a chip or something that's sort of, again, maybe like IR readers. It knows that you're pressing this part of the actual drawing section here. There's a big button, probably like your A button, then your up, down, left, right to sort of cycle through menus if there is any. I'll quickly show you the back of the system, or where you plug in the cables. So like I say, there's an AV out. So that's one of your very old sort of RF leads, sort of similar to the Sega Saturn Mega Drive that you probably used to back in the day. That looks like the bottom. Let me just double check this because I haven't done this for years. So what we got? So that plugs into the back of your TV, doesn't it? That's like your aerial RF side. And this is the part that plugs into the actual console, like so. It plugs in quite nice and snug. And then it also comes with a Sega branded mains adapter, sort of similar to what you'd see with the Mega Drive or perhaps the Game Gear charger case, sort of like that. That plugs in there, plugs into the wall, obviously, powers on. And yeah, if you've set it up right, you might have to tune your TV into the right TV channel that detects the signal that's being sort of driven out of the RF cable there. Then it will display on your TV. That's basically how TVs work. Let's just pop that back in there. Right, so next up, let's move the wire out the way. Let's have a look at some of the games, okay? So I did sort of reel off a list of the games that were featured on the box there, and I'm just going to say that in the UK at least, we received 10 different games. So it's not really too hard of a collection to collect for if you're going for a full PAL. I mean, there might be, I couldn't really understand like because there's like French, Italian, Brazilian variants of games. I don't know if they've got any exclusive ones, potentially they have. I just had a brief look at the list here just to have a little bit of information and knowledge coming into this, so you might want to check out the different lists over on Sega Retro just to see if there's any, like, if you want the complete PAL, for example, there might be an exclusive to Brazil, for example. I didn't go too in-depth in my research there, but just know that if you're collecting in the UK, for example, you only need to collect 10 games for this thing. Oh. And here are some of the games. Now, I've got a mixture of Japanese, PAL, and American. So we'll just move that Sonic game off to the side first, and we'll just go through some of the PAL games. So this is the game that's included, the Winnie the Pooh cartridge. So it essentially just plugs in like that into the cartridge slot, and then as you push back, there's a nice click there. And if you want to get the cartridge out, there's like this cartridge out button here. You press that up, it flips up, and you just pull it out. It's really, really simple. I mean, very, like I say, very child friendly. And once you actually get the cartridge in there, it detects that you're playing Winnie the Pooh, Pooh's Corner or whatever. I'll probably chuck some footage actually of each of these games up on the screen just to sort of show how the gameplay looks, if there's any on YouTube already, for example. So you open the page like that, and as soon as that touches this part of the console here, it detects that you've turned the page, and it knows like this is the scene that you're on, and obviously some stuff appears on the screen essentially for this scene that's being displayed on the image there. And obviously you would then be able to interact with whatever's going on the screen. I'll try and show off each of the pages for Winnie the Pooh here. Really nice. And I believe, I can't quite remember, but I believe you can touch these things as well, possibly. I'm not 100% on that, thinking about it. Just saying that because on the last pages there's always like a colour thing, and I feel like, I'm sure you can actually select, maybe, God, it keeps dropping, sorry. Maybe it's just this last page that you can actually touch, because this has got like a sensor sort of aspect to it. You can touch different pens and stuff. You might be able to interact with the actual scenes. I'm not sure, like, you know, touch his balloon and stuff. I can't quite remember from when I was actually playing this. It's been probably about 10 years or so since I
I picked this up originally when we actually had an old-fashioned CRT TV that I since no longer have. So yeah, that's basically how it works. So we'll look through the rest of the games, and like I say, I'll try and show if I can find some nice footage on the screen, and I will also link the channels below that had previously recorded this footage that just gives a little bit of context. Hopefully that's okay, just to show some of the gameplay. And like I say, I will link the actual channels used below if you're interested in watching the full length gameplay of the footage or whatever. So that's a year at Pooh Corner. Next up is Magic Crayons. I don't actually have the box for this. I'm not sure if it... I would have assumed that they all, apart from excluding maybe a year at Pooh Corner, because that's the bundled in game, I'm pretty sure all of these would have come with actual boxes. So if you are planning on collecting for the SEGA PICO, you may want to investigate a little bit into what does and what doesn't come with boxes. I feel like I have never seen the box for this, but it probably does have a box. But again, this could be another bundled in game, but then again maybe not, because it did just say specifically Winnie the Pooh, and if this was the only way of getting this would be bundled with the console, you're not going to rebuy the console again. So this must have a separate release. Apologies, this also looks like the American version of Huckle and Lily's Busiest Day Ever, because I've got a dollar sign there. It was $1.99 at one point, or $1.99. But this is a game that is available in PAL territories. I'm not sure if the console's actually region locked. I don't believe so, just down to the fact that I've definitely played Sonic's Game World, and that is only released in America and Japan. So yeah, I'm pretty sure all the cartridges worldwide will work on your Pico system, but don't hold me to that. Here is Tails and the Music Maker. So this is a game that is listed on the box, and I do feel like I remember seeing it in Toys R Us back in the day. You would have expected it to be like one of the more popular games, especially in the UK, but I cannot find a single copy of this game from like a UK seller of the PAL release. You're only seeing American listings on eBay. So yeah, a bit of a strange one. That's why I mentioned that up front. I would assume it does have a PAL release. Surely they wouldn't advertise on the box. And yeah, I do remember this as like one of the games I did want to get as an 8-year-old, just because I loved Sonic and Tails back in the day. But obviously, like I say, I already felt a little bit too old for this, even as an 8 or 9-year-old, seeing this console in Toys R Us. But yeah, cool. Let's have a look at the artwork. So it's very much old school Tails, right? The Sonic the comic looking type of Tails. Maybe the not the Satam or whatever it's called, the TV show, but the other one, the one with Grounder and Snitch, or Stitch, sorry, that kind of Tails look. Music Maker. I'll put a little bit of footage up on the screen of this, of course, as well. Full keyboard there. And there's Sonic with a guitar. I wonder if this is before or after Sonic Underground. But yeah, pretty cool. Sonic and the Music... Tails and the Music Maker. They do tend to come with manuals. This one doesn't. But again, I just picked this up. This was just a cheap... Or I picked up the cheapest that I could find just to be able to own / play the game. Like I say, this is an American one. You can see some of the gameplay here. Tails is here to take your children on a musical journey. He'll introduce them to instruments and teach them about rhythm, tempo, scales and more. They can even play a tune on their own Music Maker. Using characters from the story and their own original art, your children will create and animate their own cartoons. Pinball introduces percussion elements. Match the musical sound with its instrument. Lasso the notes to create a musical scale. Musical lily pads develop dexterity. There's a sort of Green Hill Zone, Marble Zone looking thing in the back. Play your own tune on the Music Maker and create and animate your own imaginative cartoons. Game screen shown with photographed from video monitors. Interesting. So yeah, it says operates only with NTSC television and Pico systems purchased in North America and South America. Will not operate with any other Pico and television systems. Interesting. That is interesting because I swear I've played this, and this is an American cartridge. So, just something to be mindful of, I suppose. Might be worth picking up, like if you've got the PAL Pico system, just pick up the cheapest American or Japanese cart that you can find. A lot of the Japanese releases are quite cheap because there were so many of them. In fact, while I'm here, I'll mention that there's actually apparently according to Wikipedia, over 300 games for the SEGA PICO systems. But the actual game list on Wikipedia only actually lists 256. So again, make of that as you were. Again, 10 games in the UK. Apparently, I'll go through them. So we got a year at Pooh Corner, Ecco Junior or Ecco. Actually, I'll leave that for a moment. We'll get to them when thingy. But I will mention that US had a list of 21 games. So yeah, not a huge library outside of Japan. So it is very much an attainable collection if you wanted. Obviously, a lot of the boxes are just cardboard, and with it being a children's system, are going to be quite heavily damaged, I would assume. It depends what kind of a collector you are. So that's Tales and the Music Maker. So next up, we're into some of the PAL games that I've got now. Like I say, there's only actually 10 games for the system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've actually got 8 of the 10 games, in a way. But I will read through that list just towards the end. So Lion King Adventures. You'll also see it's got the actual suitable for years 3 to 7 at the top there. Lovable young Simba is here to guide your children on a wonderful learning adventure. On their journey, they'll encounter a variety of fun mental challenges, like following an alphabet maze and matching shapes to create an African animal. Using characters from the story in their own original art, your children will create and animate with their own cartoons. Use memory skill to create a picture with puzzle pieces. Match and learn shapes with Simba's friends. Uncover a picture and learn your ABCs. An easy video game develops dexterity. Count stars in the sky and learn numbers. And create and animate your own original cartoons. So yeah, I mean, on paper, it sounds great, right? So this is how it looks with the actual manual in there. Apparently it's a parent's guide. Would explain a lot of the features, getting started, how to put the cartridge in, how to control some of the scenes and the gameplay elements that go with those scenes using the paint box. So yeah, pretty thorough manual, really. And here it is. So yeah, Disney's The Lion King Adventures. SEGA branded. Nice to see. I'll go through the pages again. You can see Simba and the other characters there, Timon and Pumbaa. And there's the final page there. So yeah, really nice. I mean, for children, I've never known anyone actually own one of these things, but for children, they look quite a nice product, really. Unfortunately, maybe it was just the time that it was released, it didn't really sell many, and obviously they only made 10 games. Who's going to buy a complete system just for 10 pieces of software, I guess? It didn't seem like it's basically another avenue that Sega went down and sort of instantly canned. So yeah. Here is another recognisable character to Sega fans. It's Ecco, or Ecco Junior, and the Great Ocean Treasure Hunt. Ecco Junior makes a big splash while swimming in his underwater adventure. Your children will meet other sea creatures in all shapes and sizes and learn about counting, addition and more with this friendly dolphin as their guide. Using characters from the story and their own original art, your children will create and animate their own cartoons. Learn to count how many pearls Ecco Junior has found. Group sea creatures to balance the seesaw. Create your underwater song. Identify shapes and sizes of different sea creatures. Add and subtract the number of crabs and create and animate your own imaginary cartoons. Very much quite a brand new copy of Pico. Quick look through the pages here. Very nice. Sort of hand-drawn artwork on each of these as well. And here is the parent's guide. Tiny bit thinner than the last one. But yeah, quite thorough again, all the same. Yeah, so I guess, guys, what was your experience with the SEGA PICO? Do you remember seeing it as well back in the day? Maybe like me in a shop like Toys R Us? Or did you potentially even own one? It would be very interesting to know. Okay, next up is Mickey's Blast into the Past. Take a magical journey through time with Mickey as he meets great inventors in history. Your children will learn about the calendar, how to tell time, and about the amazing inventions created by Leonardo da Vinci, Thomas Edison, and the Wright brothers. Using characters from the story and their own original art, your children will create and animate with their own cartoons. These clocks will help you to learn how to tell the time, go through the maze game and see how electricity works, catch the dinosaurs and learn to count, match and learn shapes to build your own time machine, meet Thomas Edison and his amazing inventions, and create and animate your own picture. So yeah, I mean, this seems a pretty good educational one. Mickey's Blast into the Past. Quick look at the artwork. There's not Donald Duck, is it? It's the dad. Leonardo da Vinci there, Leonardo da Vinci, and the Mona Lisa he's painting currently. There's Thomas Edison, Edison's laboratory. The Wright brothers with their aeroplane. So yeah, pretty cool game, that one, for children learning. 1 second. Guys, I'm trying to do a video here. Alexa, what time is it?
Good afternoon, James. It's 2:45 p.m.
Oh, bollocks. Okay. Right, next up, the last of the PAL boxed games is Pocahontas. Now your children can journey down the river with Pocahontas and her mischievous friends Percy and Miko. They'll visit her village along the way and learn about colours by designing and painting pottery. They'll even record and play their own Native American tune. Using characters from the story and their own original art, your children can even create and animate their own cartoons. Sort of a copy and paste line there on each of these. So be creative by shaping and decorating your own pottery. Record your own tune with musical instruments and watch Pocahontas dance. Mix and match the outfits and play at dressing up with Percy. Navigate the river and by canoe, and develop coordination skills. Dot-to-dot games teach counting skills and match shapes and colours in the simple columns game. So there's even a version of columns on here. 1995. I always drop something. It's even got the original Sega logo on there. Let's have a quick look inside. So yeah, these are all the games listed there so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 9 games listed there. Let's see how many was on Mickey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Pocahontas must have been a later one. Let's have a quick look in Ecco. 2, 5, 6, 7. And Lion King, just for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, there's one game missing. I'm going to open that one. I don't think that had an actual opening. Have a quick look at the cartridge for Pocahontas and the parent's guide. So here's Pocahontas. I'm not quite sure which one's Percy. I think that's Miko, that's Percy, I guess. Nice artwork again. Yeah, just looks like a nice fun time for children. Parent's guide. All in black and white. Maybe this was the the first system to have black and white ones. No, I did say that last time. We did notice some of them inside the Mega CD games, right? Which would have been more like 93, I guess, for Mega CD. Alright, cool. So that is the last of the PAL games that I've got. Or a quick look at this cool Sonic game world. Which unfortunately was, I mean, considering it's a Sonic title and would have done so much better than all of these other games probably combined for selling systems or for selling software. the Sonic game is actually only released in Japan and America. So here it is. It's Sonic the Hedgehog's Game World. Really nice glossy feel to this one as well. Love the scenes they've got here, some of the flickies, Amy, Tails. Very much just a fun mini game type of deal going on here. Yeah, really cool artwork. Sega blimp up there. Dr. Eggman's got an emerald. Yeah, lovely. Really cool. Release that one. Pop that on there. Actually, we'll put that as a separate thing. And the final two games I've got Game World again, but this was the Japanese one. So I wanted one boxed and one that I can actually play in English, because obviously this is going to play a little bit in Japanese. It's not too hard to play just because it's all mini games, like I say. Exact same artwork. The pages aren't as glossy, they're actually more wipeable. Oh, and look at that, guys, actually. There's a unique page to the Japanese one. I guess they didn't want gambling to sort of be advertised on a kid's game outside of Japan. But yeah, you've got slot machines, card games, some sort of spin the wheel games over there, and matching virtual poker machines there. There's a bar with alcohol. So yeah, I can see why they got rid of that. It might be interesting to see what they've replaced it with, actually. Or is it just an additional page? In fact, that is the back page for the Japanese one. So instead of the gambling page, let's go back through it. So they've both got that one. It's on the screen there, pretty much. They've both got that one. This is the gambling page. So Sonic's actually got the one, the American version's actually got this page, so it does dodge the slot machine one. That's the Japanese model's last page, and yeah, the American one actually gets an additional one with painting and stuff. So yeah, very interesting. That's where the manual will go. I've actually got the manual for the next game title that you're about to see, which is a Pokemon game. I do like these clamshell cases. I think these are much better than the cardboard alternatives. Quick look through this one. So you've got Ash Ketchum, or whatever his name is, and some of the other cast of characters from Pokemon. It's been so long since I watched that. Nice. This is good for learning hiragana and katakana. It's one of the reasons why I picked this up, actually. I was looking through some gameplay, and this was like teaching hiragana, katakana. I thought that would be a pretty cool game to practice on at the time. Obviously I know all these now, but yeah, it would have been great for potentially playing with my daughter, and maybe she could have learnt some katakana and hiragana, but obviously it's not something that I can never replace. Like I say, I might pick up a Japanese model actually in Japan with an actual TV that can play it, and we might investigate some games for it. Manual slightly different, more of like a vertical thing going on here. Just quickly go through the rest of these pages, and then that will bring us to the end of the SEGA PICO video, guys. So I will run down the list of game titles in case you are curious in collecting for this system. Obviously, I'm not going to do all 300 or all 251, but just for the UK, you've got A Year at Pooh Corner, you've got Ecco Jr., which is there. You've got Magic Crayons, which was a loose one, right? There's that one. You've got Mickey's Blast into the Past, which is there. You've got Pocahontas. You've got Professor Pico and the Paint Box Puzzle, which I don't have. That's one of the ones I don't have. You've got Richard Scarry's Huckle and Lurley's Busiest Day Ever. Tales and the Music Maker, which unfortunately I've only got the American version of. Could be the rarest game to find in the UK, if it indeed did release in the UK. We've got the Berenstain Bears, which is a game that I don't own by the looks of it. I thought I had, actually, but evidently not. And the Lion King, so that would be a 10. So I'm just missing Professor Pico and the Paint Box Puzzle and the Berenstain Bears, or Berenstain. I know that's a bit of a Mandela effect, that one. But yeah, guys, that's it, basically. And then you can pick up additional software from different countries if you're interested. So yeah, almost a full set of SEGA PICO PAL games. And I showed off the console there and the boxes and the manuals. So I hope that you enjoyed that. Had a bit of a glimpse into the SEGA PICO, sort of this forgotten system of Sega bygone. But yeah, thanks very much again for watching these sort of in-depth videos on like my games collection. Basically, this is more of an educational one. Hopefully this can actually help people out there rather than just me going through the full set of games that I own for Dreamcast, Saturn, Mega Drive, whatever, done Mega CD, etc. Game Gear. Right, guys, that is it. I'm going to stop before I waffle on any longer than needs be. So thank you very much again for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, whatever you can for me, and I'll see you on the next one. Appreciate it. Take care.